Hey third graders, today I'm going to show you how to construct a different kind of poem called a Cinquain. Your haiku poems have been great and we'll do a few more of those later on as the year goes on, but I want to just change a little direction here and give you a new way to think of poetry. Please watch the video and please try to follow me step by step. Thank you. First thing I want you to notice is that there's 5 lines to the poem, and each line has a certain amount of words. The first line has 1 word, the second line has 2 words, the third line has 3 words, the fourth line has 4 words, and the fifth line has 1 word. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, back to 1, not 5. And each line has a specific job. The first word is the title or the subject or a noun. I'll show you all this, but it's 1 word. It's kind of what the poem is about. The next line are 2 adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe, okay? What is it going to describe? It's going to describe the thing you're writing about, the subject. The third line has 3 ing words, ing, like running, singing, dancing, talking, sleeping, snoring, laughing, crying, boxing, ing. Anything with ing is going to work. And then the fourth line is sometimes the more tricky line, a 4-word phrase. That just means 4 words, kind of like a sentence. It doesn't have to be a sentence because it's poetry, but 4 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to 1. And 1 is a word that means almost the same as the first word. Okay, I'll show you how this works in a minute. But just keep that in mind. If you might want to refer back to this in the video. Okay, the first thing I'd like you to do, even before you start thinking of what you're going to write, is get your notebook out and just recreate what I have done. Look at the first line is for the first word, 1 word. Then I go down and there's 2 lines for 2 words. And then I go down and there's 3 lines for 3 words. Then I go down another line and my fourth line is 4 words, or 4 spaces for 4 words. And then my last line, number 5, is just 1 word again. Just copy this down, pause the video, make your paper look like mine, please. I think if you follow me step by step, this will make a lot more sense. Okay, I hope that went well. Now, even before you start writing about your subject, do me a favor and go under those lines and just remind yourself what the rule has to be. This poem has a lot of rules. So remember, the first line is my subject, and then I'm going to write adjectives. So I wrote ADG to remind me that's going to be an adjective, a word that describes the subject. Then my next 3 words all have to end in ING. And then my fourth line, I just wrote the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 to show you that you have 4 words there to write, again, about the subject. And then synonym is another way of saying the subject again without repeating it. Okay, in a second here, I'm going to make a poem with you watching me and show you how to do these steps. So take a breath, relax, and remember, if you don't remember all of this in one bite, slow it down and just rewind the part that you weren't sure about. But here we go, our Cinquain, first one. Okay, my topic is Sheldon, our class pet, for 2 reasons. 1, he's pretty cool, and 2, everybody knows Sheldon, so we'll all understand the process. Sheldon is my subject. That's all good. Next line, adjectives. Adjectives describe the subject. So what words in your mind describe Sheldon? There are lots of them. You need to pick 2. Okay, I'm back. There are about 1,000 right answers for what's next. But I think Sheldon is calm. He doesn't make a lot of noise. He just sits there. If you move him around, he doesn't seem too annoyed.
and he seems wise to me, maybe because he's so quiet, like he's just thinking, or he's just thinking his own thoughts all day. I don't know. I just find him as a fairly wise animal. Those are my opinions. And again, they describe Sheldon. Sheldon is wise. Sheldon is calm. Okay? Now I go to action words. And even though Sheldon moves slowly, he does move. So, what are some things that Sheldon ings or does? Again, probably 528 right answers. You just need to pick three things that make sense. I'll show you my three in just a second. Okay, again, lots of potential right answers. They all have to end with ing. Notice, whether you like the choices I made or not, they all end in ing, and that's what yours need to do. Crawling, waiting, thinking. Okay, well, Sheldon gets around by crawling. Waiting, to me, sometimes it's sad that he's in his cage or he's waiting for his tautologist friend or now he's waiting for me or whatever, but he just spends a lot of time alone waiting. And I think while he's waiting, he's a thinker. That's where that wise comment came from in the other second line. Okay? So crawling, waiting, thinking. Again, did they all end in ing? Yes, they did. So did I do it right? Yes, I did. And that's how you'll know if you did it right or not. Okay? Next, I need to come up with four words that describe Sheldon. Not to like together, like a phrase. Not like calm, wise, smart, nice. Not necessarily like that. I'll show you. It should sound more like a mini sentence because that's what a phrase is. Four words that describe Sheldon kind of that in a sentence. Again, there are a lot of ways to do this, a lot of right answers. You might have a better way to do it than me or a way you like more, but I wrote makes friends so easily. Because, in my opinion, Sheldon, in my experience even, I haven't met anyone yet who doesn't like Sheldon and who doesn't like him a lot. So I chose to go with makes friends so easily. Again, lots of other choices would work. My last line is coming up with another word that means about the same as Sheldon. Okay, so like, what's another name for Sheldon or what Sheldon represents? Well, he's the class pet, but I'm only supposed to use one word, so pet. Sometimes I call him Shelly, so that to me is his nickname. That would work perfectly. Or he's obviously a tortoise, and so that's going to work too. Any of those three would work great, and there's probably a couple other ways to do it that would work just as well, or maybe you like him even better. Let's see what I'm going to go with. Okay, I chose tortoise. Could have gone a lot of different ways. In fact, I thought about friend as a possible word after I wrote tortoise in ink, but that's what happens when you write in ink. Again, if this is your poem, cross it out and put the word you really want if you think of a better one. But that is what I needed to do because Sheldon is a tortoise. Okay, so now let's just read the whole poem without explaining it all and just listen to how it runs, how it flows. Sheldon, calm, wise, crawling, waiting, thinking, makes friends so easily. Tortoise. Okey doke. I kind of like that one about Sheldon. Now I'm going to write one more Cinquain just to make sure we got it. First thing I would do is put my 5 sentences. First sentence, which is really one word, one word. Second line, I should say, instead of sentence. Second line, 2 words. Those are going to be adjectives. Third line, ing words, words ending in ing, they're doing something. Number 4, line 4, is just 4 words strung together that explain or describe or go with the rest of my poem about my subject. And the last word is another way of saying or relating back to my topic. I'll show you how to do this one more time. Second poem. So, one more time, just to help myself and kind of a hint to you, write down what your lines are about. Again, one word subject. The next line, line 2, are 2 adjectives describing the subject. The third line are ing words that the subject does. And the fourth line is a phrase about the subject. And then the fifth line is one more word that renames or takes the place of the subject name in line 1. Just like Sheldon became tortoise. Not super difficult to see the resemblance or not super clever, but that's what you need to do. All right, let's try one more together. Okay, so second poem. Well, everybody knows I love Star Wars, so here comes a poem about Yoda. He's my subject, Yoda. Okay, that took a little bit. I had to think, I had to make the choices I like too. Like sometimes I knew a couple of different ways to go, but I tried to pick a word that I like best. Again, lots of right answers, lots of right choices. Follow the rules. Let me just read the whole poem one time through, and then we'll go back and make sure I did it right. Yoda, strong, true, protecting, fighting, teaching, keeper of the Force, Jedi. Okay. Did I come up with one word in line 1? Yes. Yoda is my topic. That's what this whole poem is about. Yoda. Is Yoda strong? I think so. Is Yoda true? That means like loyal to his friends? Yes, I think so. And again, those describe Yoda. Yoda is protecting, he's fighting, he's teaching. Yep, he does all those things and lots more. Again, lots of other ing words you could come up with. He's the keeper of the Force, okay? That's a phrase that I just made up, but it goes with Yoda. He is a Jedi Master. He knows how to use the Force for good. He keeps it to pass on to other Jedi coming forward. And then he's the Jedi. He's the Jedi Master. So I could have picked Jedi. I could have picked Master. I could have picked, I don't know, I can't think right now, bunches of other things. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I followed the rules. I picked a subject I really like. I kind of had fun actually writing this poem, and I hope you enjoy it. Your job is to write 3 of these poems. They're called Cinquains. Remember, the big thing here is the format. 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4, and then back to 1. And there's the process right here. I'll also include a sheet in the attachments to remind you of this. But if I were you, I would follow this format of just writing my spaces, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and just starting out writing what I'm doing underneath it. Subject, adjective, adjective, ing, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another word that goes with Yoda. You can write about anything you want. Try to follow the format. Or as Yoda would say, try not, do. I miss you all so much. I really look forward to your poems. Your haikus have been terrific. I think these Cinquains will be really great too. Bye for now.